Welcome to Health Pod, your self-development hub
on mental health, psychology, and spirituality.
So we kind of need to embrace this. We need to be in contact not only with our mind, but also with our soul.
taking more pauses and breaks throughout the day. This is a very, very key component to life.
And what I say is that if we expect society or our working environment to tell us, hi, you need to take a pause, that will never happen. People want the results fast and they want the results painless. Sorry, but that's not gonna happen. So you need to put in the work and the trust, and do it over and over again. It needs to become who you are. Then you see the change.
Welcome back to another episode here on Health Pod. I'm Hélène, I'm an empowerment and wellness coach, and today we are going to be talking about women's empowerment. We are here with Christina Aristidou, who is a motivational speaker, a high performance and mindset coach, and regional director of the Global Women's Club. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you, Hélène. It's a pleasure being with you. And actually, it was something that it came to us really spontaneously once we met each other. So I'm really glad that we made it.
Fabulous. Happy to have you here.
Yes, happy to be here.
So today, Christina, we're going to talk about women's empowerment and what does it mean to be a high-performance woman, a high-performance coach. So we briefly touched upon it earlier, but I wanted to go into it a little bit deeper. With regards to what a high-performance coach is and a mindset expert. Could you tell us a little bit about what exactly that means?
Yes, of course. So it's all about, I always like to separate the high achievers and the high performers.
Okay.
Because there is really a distinction there.
Okay.
For quite a few years, I've been a high achiever, chasing goals, milestones, achieving things. But when you're a high achiever, you kind of connect yourself to the outcome, your self-worth to the outcome. So you feel that you really need to kind of succeed in some things and achieve some things in order for you to be the person you want to be, in order for you to kind of accept yourself and the person that others will accept. So you kind of attach your self-worth to the outcome.
Right.
Which is very daunting and very exhausting because we all know that we have a lot of goals, a lot of things that we want to actually achieve in life. So if I just run behind goals over and over again, that doesn't end, So that's the reason that many people feel exhausted. They have burnouts, they achieve a lot, but they don't stop to see how much they achieve. They are just, kind of going towards the next one and the next one and the next one. And there is no satisfaction coming with that. And I've been there. So I know that no matter how much you achieve, there is a constant battle within that, okay, what's next? It's like a drag, So the thing is for us to become, let's say, from high achievers to high performers, we need to kind of focus on the quality that we put in work, work, in the family. So we kind of do our best, okay? We make sure that we are in the best mental, physical, spiritual, mindset level. So we can deliver, we can give our best self in any of these occasions. But we don't kind of attach ourselves to the outcome,
Okay.
So I will do my best now and every now, but the result will not define me. So I know that I'm giving my 100%, and maybe my 100% is not the same every day. But if I still give my 100% every day, okay, why shall I complain to myself? I mean, what more you can ask for a person that constantly give their 100%? So they kind of focus on the performance, to optimize it as much as they can, but not to the outcome. Because the outcome, okay, I can put like my whole effort and whatever, definitely. But sometimes things may work differently from what I kind of anticipate them to be.
Yes.
And maybe actually that may also be to my benefit. So we need to kind of trust ourselves that we've got this. Trust, like where life takes us as well, and just do our best, because I think that that's more than enough. It's not just enough. It's so much more than enough.
You touched upon something very important, that our best is not the same every day.
Yes.
And that's a great measure, a good barometer that we tend to compare ourselves the day before, what we did, or
with everyone else.
Or with everyone else, which is a huge contributing factor to lowering our self-worth.
Definitely.
How and what is the best way you can recommend that we can understand this concept? Because I feel that there's many people that hear this concept, but it's hard to understand.
Look, first of all, definitely, we are human beings. We have life happens, so no day is the same than before, like we face new challenges. Even our mood is not the same every day, We have days that we feel more energized, and we have days that we feel, like that we need to recharge ourselves, okay? So we kind of need to embrace this. We need to be in contact not only with our mind, but also with our soul, and our body. Because unless we kind of, everything is synced, and it's linked to each other, and we are in absolute alignment between these three, to stop and say, today I feel like this. I will do less. I need more of this. I need more to relax, or more. There are more days that needs to be completely shifted. For example, I'm more energized. I'm more intuitive. I'm more creative. So I need to put more, towards what I'm working on. So it's not like we're not robots. And I think that we have been trained from a very young age, and we really manage to be very good robots. What we don't manage very well is to be human. So we kind of really need to stop, make pauses within the day, connect and reconnect with ourselves, and feel and think as well, but also kind of give ourselves what we really need, and listen, to what that is. Because if we're on autopilot, and constantly in the move, we don't have time to actually stop. And I think that's the step that we need to make to bring us closer to our, our truth, and our what we really need to be doing here.
Yeah.
So it's not about doing, it's also about being.
Absolutely. You mentioned the pauses, taking more pauses and breaks throughout the day.
True.
This is a very, very key component to life.
It is.
And tuning into our emotions more regularly and seeing where we're at. And especially as women, our moods change. We are cyclical within our cycles,
Definitely.
within the rhythms of nature, within the rhythms of ourselves, society. We feel things a lot more. However, this element of pausing more doesn't seem to be as supportive within our society. How do we implement more of these pauses throughout our lives within our busy schedules?
Yeah. Look, when we say pause, it doesn't mean to have like a 3-hour pause. I mean, it can be short, but repetitive pauses within the day, And what I say is that if we expect society or our working environment to tell us, hi, you need to take a pause, that will never happen. So it's our responsibility to actually be in tune with our body. And if we feel exhausted, if we feel, tired, if we feel we've had enough, we really need to, take a minute. Take a minute, do some breathing exercises, for example, or close your eyes and just say some affirmations. Doesn't have to be something that, it's a ritual and we need to kind of stop for 2 hours and go exercise. Definitely exercise helps. But what we are talking about here with the short pauses have to do mostly with coming back to the body. And the most efficient way to come back to the body is through breathing. So closing the eyes, just, like stay still, take a couple of breaths. I think it's more than enough to anchor us, to the present moment. And it's not that we can stay in the present moment forever, we really need to train ourselves to do this, because if we do this over and over again, it's kind of, as we were discussing before, that we have been trained not to stop. So we need to train ourselves to stop. So we need to also do over and over again in order for this to become a habit. Otherwise, if I just do it whenever I think, think about it, that's not implementing into a habit.
What I see a lot of people do is they hear about affirmations, they hear about breath work, they'll hear about all these tools, and then as soon as they stress, they remember them.
Yeah.
And if they haven't built a relationship with these tools from beforehand, to have some sort of connection, some trust, to know that it actually works, it doesn't actually function.
Definitely.
When they're not, when they haven't used them before.
You are very right. And I think that this kind of, the more you do it, the more the practice deepens, and the more your body kind of recognizes, I remember when I started meditating, just to, give something practical here. The very few times in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, this is not working. I was also a high achiever. So I think I wanted things fast, So I was like, this is not working, like what? I just sit and close my eyes and then, what are the... So you just need to trust. You need to do it over and over and over and over and over again, trusting that it's going to work, okay? It's the same with going to the gym, okay? If I go to the gym and I just do like some, body exercise, okay? I will not have abs the first day. Neither the second one.
Pretty sure about that.
So, you need to trust that if you put in the work over and over again, then you will get to see the results. So people want the results fast, and they want the results painless. Sorry, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you need to put in the work and the trust, and do it over and over again. It needs to become who you are. Then you see the change.
Absolutely.
Then you see the result.
Absolutely. That also comes along with not only having the self-awareness to implement these tools, these practices and these methods, but also having the ability to set stronger boundaries within a society that works in a specific way, to make time for yourself as a woman especially.
And not sound selfish.
Which again, selfish is something that...
That's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. I believe it's a good thing. If I wasn't selfish as a woman, I wouldn't be able to support my family in the way that I do. I wouldn't be able to run my business. I wouldn't be able to be a good mother.
Definitely.
I'm teaching my children the best model through being selfish. And I think selfish has been, there's been such a negative connotation added to it.
With a lot of guilt.
With a lot of guilt and shame that we
Definitely.
carry as women. And that's such a deep ingrained emotion and baggage that has been passed down from generations. Especially women. So creating these pauses and these pockets of time within our day comes with acknowledging that we have to set strong boundaries.
Definitely. That's
Correct?
very key. That's very key.
Yeah. So where along the lines do we also find this confidence, this self-awareness to be able to set ourselves as priority?
Today's episode is sponsored by Nomad, your local experts on sourdough bread, mouth-watering pastry, and specialty coffee. So for those of you that would like to start your day right and get your caffeine fix, Nomad is the place to go. Let's tune back into our wonderful episode.
Look, I think that everything comes with practice, okay? So it's not that one day you just wake up and you say, hello, today I will start having boundaries, You need to build that habit. So you need to start saying no to the things that are easier to say no. So you can say no, for example, to staying 3 hours extra every day at work. So you can say no to favors that people are asking you that you really need to devote your precious time, which is maybe with the family, or maybe it's your private time.
Yes.
So you need to start feeling again. What are the things that really put pressure on me? You know, what are the things that I really want to say no and I end up saying yes? Okay. So it's about, like testing the request and the feeling you have and say, do I really want to do this? Do I really feel like doing this? It's not about having to. I have to, but I have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to do anything. We don't owe anyone anything. And the same goes for them. Nobody owes us anything. So I always say that when I say no to somebody, I say yes to myself.
Yes.
When I keep saying yes to other people, I keep saying no to me. So really, it's a balancing exercise. Of course, we will not be the kind of person that doesn't care about anything and anyone. I'm not just saying this. What I'm saying is that I shall not cancel myself to satisfy everyone else,
Yes.
So there needs to be like a balancing exercise here and really feeling, is it something that I can do for somebody without, like really burdening myself?
Yes.
Then great.
Yes.
But if I'm going to pushing my time, my energy towards fulfilling other people's expectations, this kind of comes down to really need to be loved and accepted. That's why we do people pleasing.
Yes. Yeah. I heard a great example on social media yesterday. There was some mothers in this school committee and they said to another mother, could you please make those fabulous cookies that you make for us for the school show? And she said, well, yes, of course I'll make them. She goes home and she's making these cookies and she's like, these bloody cookies. And she's bitter and she's angry and she's shouting at her kids while she's making them because she disregarded her initial instinct to say no, that feeling inside of herself. And therefore it had a ripple effect. It had a ripple effect on every other single part of her life.
And on her own.
And her own well-being and her own health.
Definitely.
So touching upon health and well-being, you've told me your story before, which I would love for more people to hear here on Health Pod. You did not start out as a high-performance coach. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you ended up doing this work.
Okay, so I studied law and, I entered the fast-paced world of, like the corporate world, let's put it this way. That is all about high achievers,
Yes.
So I was the kind of person that I was chasing really high goals, one after another.
So tick boxes.
All the boxes, oh my God. I even created some boxes
Okay.
to tick them also. So it was all about achieving. It was all about seeking this kind of approval, this kind of fulfillment, this kind of success. Because, what I mentioned before, we are trained this way. So we live also in a small society. That people get you, for example, thinking that, okay, if I am a good student, I go to a good university, I do something which is socially accepted, lawyer, doctor, this kind of more like prestigious, professions.
Professions, yes.
And then you get into the whatever job you are doing, and you kind of give your everything, and you build a house, and you have the family, and then you need to have the kids, and then you need to have another kid, and then you need to go on vacations, and you need to have this lifestyle, Then you will be happy. So this is actually what the system is selling you, okay? And I was doing all that, absolutely no pleasure, absolutely not celebrating all the things that I have been achieving. The moment I achieved something that I really wanted, my eyes were on the next one.
Okay.
So I was never in the present moment.
So celebration is...
No celebration.
There was no celebration.
There will be celebration at the end.
When we
Yes.
get there.
When
Yes,
you get
yes.
to the
When
end,
you get to
okay?
the end.
To the higher,
Mm-hmm.
that, actually there was never ending.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was into this mood and into this, like hunting in pursuit of happiness, if I can say. And that never came, that never came, because even when it did, because there were moments of happiness, but I was not there. I was
You weren't
chasing the
present.
next one.
Yeah.
So I never rendezvous with happiness, it was, like I was chasing the butterfly, Anyway, it was kind of for me to have this kind of mind blowing experience. That was kind of a near-death experience that actually I paused for the first time in my life.
You say that and I get goosebumps, actually.
Yeah. It's because I could not do the pause, neither in my mind, neither in my body. So the pause had to happen for me to kind of sit, be idle, and just kind of, my whole life came in front of my eyes, really. And I was not there, not in a single moment. So when you really hit rock bottom, because that this is what it was, you kind of have a different perspective. Actually, your perspective shifts in a moment. It was not.
You change.
I was the same body, the same woman, but completely different perception and perspective. Like instantly. So I could see that this has absolutely no meaning. This gives me not happiness at all. It's like I'm a frozen person going around achieving things, but what's the point of achieving this if you cannot feel it, So it kind of really marked, it was a rebirth for me. And I kind of celebrate 2 birthdays now. Because
nice,
this is what it was, it's a reminder for me that it's all about the journey. It's all about the journey,
not the destination.
Not the destination, because
not the goal.
I mean, actually, you cannot have the destination if there's no journey. So it's part of it, and it's most of the part. So if I just miss the most of the part just for the final moment, then what's the point? So definitely, that was what really changed my trajectory, because it was a very, how to say, like it was very easy. It was me repeating myself over and over again with different goals. So this kind of altered the whole, like ticking the boxes. It just brought me back to the present moment and really had me to answer deep questions about who I am, why I'm back, what do I want to do, what is happiness for me, and how I can also kind of have an impact, not only on my life and my, like close people, but also people generally. How I could be like the sort of inspiration for some people that maybe I will have like this kind of inspiration back then.
Yes.
But I didn't have it.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, maybe I can be the inspiration that I will need to shake me. So I didn't have to go through this to wake up.
Fabulous. What a beautiful, inspirational story. Thank you so much for sharing, Christina. It's a great way to be able to get to see ourselves from a different lens and change our perspectives on life. Sometimes it has to happen in a specific way. The hard way, for a rebirth to occur. And it's definitely going to influence many people hearing this, knowing that if they are living in a way of life that doesn't feel aligned, or perhaps they feel that they don't have the pleasure and happiness in their life really fulfilling them, then there is another way. There is a way to look deeper, to reprioritize what's important, to ask the right questions, ask yourself the right questions.
The difficult ones.
The difficult ones, the difficult questions. That's where a lot of honesty and truth comes to surface.
And vulnerability. Because this is something that we also block. We don't want to feel. We were trained not to feel, only to think. So the moment you stop and you ask the difficult questions, the mind cannot answer the difficult questions. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the only moment you kind of really get the right answers where you need to go. And you also mentioned something that I want to touch upon. You said the difficult moments. Sometimes it happens the difficult way. Hélène, allow me to say that it always happens the difficult way. When it's all rainbows and butterflies, nobody makes the change.
Yeah.
Nobody makes the change. And maybe my story had a particular way, let's say particular difficulty. But we all have difficulties in our lives.
Yes.
Okay? Like bigger and smaller difficulties. But still, I think that in order for you to kind of asking the difficult questions, do the work, you really need to face something in your life where you reach a point that you say, enough. It's so painful. I cannot take this anymore. Either your body will say this, your mind will say this, your soul will say this, but I think there is a moment in time that it's the catalyst.
Yes.
It's the catalyst for change.
It's a very important part of our development. It's an essential part of our growth.
Yes.
Many people avoid this though.
They do this.
They do this. Yeah. They walk around.
Actually,
in
they
the
do
world.
this because
they can see, but
that's the only thing we can do.
Yeah,
you know?
They can truly see, but they don't want to face it. It's too painful. And what would you recommend to someone who they can see the truth, but they don't want to face it because they also know it's very painful? It takes a lot of courage. And I know because I've been there, and I know you know because you've been there. Yes. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to say, you know what? This isn't my life anymore. I'm changing it, and I'm going to turn towards this direction. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to focus on this. And it comes with a lot of pressure from what we've been taught.
The
surrounding and how we also perceive ourselves.
Definitely.
So making these courageous changes is difficult. What would you recommend?
Look, I really think that it's difficult, and the question we need to ask ourselves is, what is more difficult? Everything is difficult, you know? So is it difficult to stay, for example, somewhere, maybe it's a relationship, a toxic environment, like working environment, whatever. What is more painful for me? Is it painful to just stay there and suck it up? Or is it more painful to just, feel the pain, go through the pain, and, break through from the other side and do something that I will really, it has, let's say, at least it has chances to make me feel better. Because staying where I am, when I know it's not for me, doesn't have any chance to make me feel good, you know?
But most of us feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
Right?
But comfort zone, I think, is the greatest enemy we are called to face. Yeah, because leaving the comfort zone has fear around it. And I think we kind of, we are so fearful of fear itself, you know? Fear is a good thing. I think that fear just shows you where you need to go, where you need to grow, you know? And for forever in my life, I was fearful of change. I was fearful of not feeling on top of things, you know? And I think that this is something that a lot of people can identify with. They believe that comfort zone is safe. But is it? I think it's never safe. First of all, it's never permanent.
Yes.
Second, it's not safe. I mean, it's like it may
It's an
look
illusion.
safe.
It's an illusion.
Bravo. It may look safe, but it's not. So what's the point of living 80 years just repeating my days in, out, in, out, in, out, not growing, not learning, not exposing myself to new people, things, opportunities? What's the point? I mean, what's really the point? So leaving the comfort zone, definitely you need courage, as you very well mentioned. But I think that it's one way or the highway, you know, like either you will stay stuck and you will just make peace with it, say, okay, that's my life. I'm just going to settle for it. Good, bad, whatever that is, I will just stay with it, that zone. Or you just kind of connect with your heart and say, am I really happy here? Am I really, do I deserve to have a life that is this? You know? Is this the life that I want to go back to when I'm older and say, you know, I have a good life, you know, I've done the things that I really wanted to do, you know? So it's again, answering difficult questions.
Answering the
that can
difficult
take you there.
questions. Yeah, absolutely.
Boom. I see you watching. I see you watching and really enjoying this episode. So if you're this far through the episode, make sure that you like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Thank you.
I think when people have the capacity and the awareness and the presence and the heart and the courage to answer these questions, then they are able to make major changes in their lives and really understand that if they're aligned with their highest self, with their highest truth, then they can lead a life that feels full.
Yes.
A life that feels...
Not always happy, but full.
But full, content. Happiness is
it's moments.
It's moments. It's not always. And this leads into another question that I feel as two women sitting here, we have achieved great things in many areas of our lives. And this is, I feel like this is an image that is also projected to the outside world. So it's it appears as a very high level of perfectionism. And we talk about not being perfect.
Yes.
Yet there is this image of being perfect. And that's something that is important to touch upon and
Very
to
important.
speak about and to perhaps elaborate. What is your opinion on this?
Look, I will just give an example because our mind generally gets, understands, let's put it this way, things better through images, okay? So I want to just parallel this, my answer to something that everybody can really see in front of them. So life is all about like a theater performance, okay? So you go to the theater, you see the actors, you see the lights, you see the, you know, like all the shine and the success and the perfection, okay? Number one, nobody goes to the backstage to see what's going on, to see the mess, you know, to see the reality, okay? Number two, nobody goes there day in, day out when they're doing rehearsals.
Yes.
Nobody's there, okay? So it takes a lot of courage to do and to kind of balance all these things, and it takes a lot of work. that nobody sees.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's there to clap for you or for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
we sometimes need to clap for ourselves, you know,
Yes.
and, you know, like pat ourselves, you know, on the
the
shoulders and say, you know,
shoulder.
you are doing a good job, you know. It's not about being perfect. Nobody is perfect and nobody will ever be perfect. So it's not about chasing perfection. For me, it's about targeting, not achieving, but targeting excellence. Because excellence, I can become excellent at something I'm practicing over and over again.
Yes.
But I can never be perfect. So it's all about, you know, like, do my best day in, day out. It's messy. Yeah. It's painful sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even balance it very well, you know, because I really think that it's what is balance? Everybody's asking me these questions.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit how you balance everything, how you have time for everything. You know, sometimes my focus is my job.
Yes.
Sometimes my focus is, you know, like my family. There are periods in your life that you really need to change your focus.
Yes. Yeah.
Period. You know, and you need to be in an environment that allows you to do that.
Have that flexibility.
Bravo. And you have that kindness and this understanding that, okay, this period is difficult period.
Give
for
yourself grace.
Bravo.
Compassion.
Bravo. And also from your environment. You know, I know that this period is tough for you. You know, like, okay, I can do this for you.
Yes.
You know, that's everything, you know.
Yes.
So definitely it's about us giving us permission to do the things that we feel that are important for us at that moment, okay? And be fully there, like focus there, because you cannot be in the house thinking your projects at work.
Yes.
You cannot be at work thinking your holidays, and you cannot be on holidays and think your projects, you know?
Yes.
So you really need to be where you are. So now I'm here with you. There is nothing else in my mind now. Nothing.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And same, when I'm working on a project, I'm there.
Yes.
You know? So I think that's the tip, you know, like focus on what you're doing. Be present and give your 100%.
Yeah. I like the comment that you made about balance, because it's something that we hear a lot about.
Yes.
And I personally, I would say I wouldn't say I preach balance, because I don't embody balance either as a person. If I do something, I do it 200%, and then I might leave certain things out, and then I'll focus on something else and I'll do that 200%.
So you do focus.
Yeah,
really?
I really do focus. However, I wouldn't say that my everyday is balanced, you know?
Who judges balance?
Who said?
Who will
and
come
what does
to
it-
you
Yes.
and say, you know, Hélène, you give your 200% on this and you left that out. Who will do that? It's our inner voice that will come at the end of the night when you go sleep, and you will feel the guilt of, you know.
I did an exercise today, but I worked a lot,
Bravo.
right? So then you're like, oh, maybe.
But you should have also done that.
I should, yes,
You know,
exactly.
you should.
Yeah.
And I think that that's also like this voice. We need to, you know, kind of adjust it. What I mean,
Yes.
adjust it.
Yes.
It's all about fine tuning. Same with balance. You know, you focus here sometime, you focus there sometime. So it's all about, you know, like adjusting this voice.
Yes.
Minimize the voice that is the inner critic, and kind of, you know, like put on the volume, the volume to the voice of, yes, you've done that, and you've done that, and you've done that. Well done. You know, tomorrow is another day. You can do different stuff. You can do like whatever you want, but it was a good day today, and bravo. You know, we need to give that clapping.
We
you know?
don't take enough time to notice what we have done throughout the day.
No, we don't notice. We don't.
We don't make, yes.
We don't make time at least. We never say bravo you know?
We don't celebrate. We don't celebrate even the
Nothing.
smallest thing. Even the smallest thing. Like, even if you are not working and you are just a mother, which even that's saying just a mother. I mean, that's even in itself.
Which is the hardest.
It's the hardest job. Like, even that is like, you need, if it was a tick list, you should have like 10 for those.
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
You know,
definitely.
thinking about everything that you need to organize and prioritize and manage. So celebration is a biggie, is a very, very essential part of life, of being able to tone down that inner critic, as you said. And as you are also the regional director of Global Women's Club, and you interact with many women.
Yes.
So we've spoken about a couple of things that have come up in our own lives, within our clients' lives. But what do you think is the main thing that women struggle with?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Confidence and perfection. You know, because they kind of go together. Why? Because they see, as you said, another woman. First of all, we were all raised, brought up, just competing each other. That's something we don't touch upon, but it's the reality, okay?
Yes.
So every woman has like a competition, an inner competition, you know?
With herself or with one another, are you talking about? Both, yes.
So it's difficult to be in a position that you are constantly comparing, you know, with everything you see on social media.
Yeah.
The women you have around you, maybe at work, maybe like in friends, etc. So I think that we look a lot outside of us and nobody dares to look within. So if you're confident and you really own who you are and you are fine that you're not perfect and you just do your best, first of all, you shine. That's all. Second, you feel good in your skin. You laugh more. You love more, you know? You are definitely more attractive because you feel good in your skin, you know? Like, if a woman constantly wants to become someone else,
Wow.
and she wants to, she's not confident enough, and she wants this to people please. She has relationships that are toxic just because they're bumping up her ego, or they just give her some breadcrumbs, you know? So if I don't boost myself up and I don't know who I am, I will just go outside of me to find this validation. And you know what the thing with this validation? It's like drugs. You have it, but when you don't have it, you are so addicted that you are depressed, you know? So unless you find an inner way of pump yourself up, you know, and see what I'm good at, what are my strong points, what am I talented about, you know, and just go more towards that direction and build those up. I think that you can never be confident if you try to be someone else, you know? I mean, we are all unique. I mean, there is absolutely no trust. And that's something the reason I feel that actually competition is worthless is because you can never become that person. So
that's also a great superpower, though, because then no one else can be you. So to embrace
nobody
that,
understands it as a superpower. They feel that unless I become like her, I'm not successful enough. She does it better. She's more blah blah blah. She's more blah blah. I'm not good enough. I'm not confident enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not tall enough. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's all about me comparing with a standard that doesn't exist. Perfection is a standard that does not exist. So you constantly battle within, you know, because you feel less. You feel less than. So definitely confidence is something that women are not mastering, okay? And they really need to work. And the other thing that is connected with confidence is what others would think of me. So women are living a life that is not fulfilling to them because they think that the moment they go outside and leave, like leave the comfort zone, nobody will approve. They will judge them. They will fail, But the thing is that we are so, how to say, interested and afraid of what others will think of us that we don't own our life. So we live a life that is just approved by others.
Perhaps someone else's. Perhaps it's someone else's life. It's not even.
It's someone else's life.
Someone else created it for you to.
You are brainwashed to get in the loop, and then you are brainwashed to stay in the loop.
Yes.
So some people never wake up, okay, and they just go about like this all their lives. Yeah. But what happens is that some people wake up late because they really get to a point where they hit rock bottom and nobody's there for them. And then they understand that, okay, so it's me, myself, and I, So what others? Yes. There's nobody there to pay my bills. There's nobody there to pamper me up. There's nobody there to, like lift me up. So why shall I be bothered with what other people believe about me? What do they know about me in the first place,
Or why should I even choose to live a life that they've created for me?
Exactly.
Their standards, if really...
That says nothing to me.
Exactly. Yeah. So what are 3 tips we could give people listening to us to help them come out of this disempowered state to a more empowered state?
Yeah, I will say to speak less. Because speaking a lot, especially as women, we do it to kind of distract, so definitely speak less and feel more. It's something I would say, connect and really own you. Like leave the passenger seat and get in the driver's seat. Okay. And it's only when you pause and you speak less and you feel more that you actually gain this, control. Number 2, I will say definitely work with themselves. Yes. You cannot be empowered if you don't want to do the work.
Yes.
You cannot feel confident if you don't do the work. Yeah. You cannot have a toned body if you don't do the work. Finished. There's no like this magic formula, like the magic pill.
Yes.
No. I mean, you really need to go through the process. And it's a process that is not easy, but it's very, very, very rewarding. And I think that it's, it can really signify the before and after.
Yes,
in
absolutely,
a person's life.
Absolutely. And that's why we've actually put something special together.
Yes, I like that you mentioned it.
Yes. We weren't going to say anything, but we have. So
True.
Now it's out. So we're putting something special together with regards, to confidence. Very soon, stay tuned. We're going to
it will be something amazing.
It will be. And I think it's a great example that 2 women sitting here together, being able to have a conversation that do have...
An authentic conversation.
An authentic conversation, yes. That have the ability to even be working in similar areas, to be able to have these conversations and to be able to create opportunities for other people to also learn from. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you'd like to dive deeper into your own personal development and tap into your most authentic self, you can book a one-on-one session with me. You'll be able to find the details in the description here below. I look forward to chatting with you.
It's about creating an impact, and a ripple effect, because I think that, the people that are working with me are not people that they just make themselves better, And actually a question I have a lot of times is, okay, is it easy to change my mindset? you know, like, and definitely what you just said now, we do these kind of seminars, we do these kind of workshops, and definitely people get out of it with golden nuggets, as I say, you know, like with some ideas, with some aha moments sometimes, you know, but they need to go and make the changes in their lives.
That's where the work begins.
Implementing.
Yes.
You know, and this is something that, okay, no seminar, no retreat, no guru will change your life.
No.
You will change your life.
Yes.
So it's about taking the information, definitely, but it's what you do with it.
Yes.
Because knowledge without, you know, application, it's just theory, you know. Everybody can read books. People are saying me, okay, for example, if I read books, perfect. It's a great start.
Yeah.
How many of the things you read in the books you do?
How much do you integrate that into your life?
Yeah. And especially because I work not only with women, but mostly women, but also with in the corporate environment and like group trainings and stuff, I see people are hungry for answers. They're hungry for tips. They're hungry for, but the thing is deciding, you know, and it's like we need to own that decision, you know, that what am I willing to do with that? What am I willing to change? Am I willing to go through placing my boundaries? Am I willing to start saying no? Am I willing to devote this amount of time on me to read, to meditate, to exercise? So, you know, it's all these tiny shifts that they seem tiny, but when you see, you know, actually these are the ones that are creating the choice, the change.
The change, and they create a compound effect. This is something that, you know, we start off today, and then the second day, and third day, and you don't see it from the fourth day. But after 30 days of doing something,
it's all about the compound effect.
It's all about the compound effect, exactly. Yes. And to be persistent and dedicated enough to it, and to believe it enough.
Even when nobody is there to clap for you. Because I think that's why people need a coach, really.
Yes.
Because there is nobody there to clap for them, and they cannot clap for them, because usually they're focused on what they didn't do, okay? So you need a coach to kind of provide you perspective, keep you on track, and remind you to see all the things that you actually managed to succeed, to do, to perform. So it's all about, you know, bringing you on track and keeping you there, you know, until you get where you want to be.
Precisely.
And the third thing, because you asked me for three things.
Three practical things.
Yes. And it's a very, very, very basic one. It's to surround yourself with people that are like-minded. That's a big one. And that's a thing I see in Global Women Club. Why? Because if I have an idea, okay, and maybe it's the most amazing idea, but if I go out to my friends and I share the idea and they tell me, why you thought about that? Who will be interested about that? No, that's nonsense, you know? They cut my wings. Maybe they don't know they are cutting my wings. Maybe they want to protect me. Maybe they're feeling jealous. Who knows? Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that unless I'm very strong within and I say, okay, whatever, I'm doing it, most people will feel shame, guilt. They will feel exposed. And they will not do it. And that's the end. And it's a pity if we kind of have some ideas, some projects, some things that they really resonate with us and we really want to do them, and we kind of stop ourselves because others have stopped us, because we allowed them to stop us.
So having people around you that empower you and support
around
you,
that are like-minded, that cheer you up, very important. Because unless we have this power tribe, you know, in our life, there are times that are difficult. There are times that we feel like quitting. There are times we fail. And failure, I cannot stress enough that I think following the fear of death, the next fear coming up is the fear of failure, of, like being exposed. So it's all about not be fearful of failure, because when you fail, you learn. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Maybe it didn't work. Okay. But I have the chance to see what didn't work, and then go back, fix it, and try again. So it's a trial and error. And most people think, yeah, she's successful. Yeah, of course she's successful. But have you asked her what it took for her to go there, to get there? She needed to fail over and over again. Nobody was there. She had to pick herself up and try again.
Yeah.
So it's
great tips.
Yes.
Yeah. Essential. I have 2 more questions for you.
Please.
What do you feel like is your biggest service you can offer humanity?
Yeah. It will sound simplistic, but I really think it's not. It's about reminding people who they are. Reminding people who they are and what they are capable of. Because I really think that that's the greatest service you can do. And that's because we all need somebody at times to believe in us, for us to believe in us. So it's really a big thing to be able to be that person that either empowers somebody, inspires somebody, accompany the transformation of somebody into becoming who he really wants to be and he deserves to be. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. And one last one, Christina.
Yes.
Who is Christina without all the titles?
Look, she's a girl. I will not say a woman, because a woman comes with the titles. So I really think that all of us, we have this child within. And unless we fully embrace this child within, care for it, nurture it, listen to it, and in a way allow it to play in life, and maybe sometimes guide the way,
Yes.
So yeah, I am a girl with dreams. Some of them are wild. But
that's for the next podcast.
Yes. Yes. But I really see myself there already. So I think what we need to kind of do in life is ground ourselves, know who we are, connect with this younger version of us who is authentic, is enthusiastic, is full of dreams. It knows exactly who we are, and it loves who we are, and just allow it to kind of be present in our life,
Yes.
and go hand to hand and do whatever we want to achieve. Yeah. That's the only way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, that's lovely. The inner child power. Thank you so much, Christina, for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm very excited for what we have coming up together as well.
Yes.
So we will be releasing that. Yes. Stay tuned for that.
Yes.
And it's been an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you and having you here on Health Pod. Thank you.
And do join us if they want more and, more theory, but definitely more practices.
Yes.
Because that's where magic happens.
We'll be giving a lot more tools and methods when we join our forces. So we'll be adding the info here below.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to Health Pod once again, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure filming it for you guys. If you like the work that we are putting out into the world, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. It really helps the work that we do.
And if you would like to follow our journey on our IG account, as well as learn more about our services, we provide everything for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.